Parabolic XCN, Comp, Quant, BNT, DNT, and a few others. So this is NC Hammer Crypto. My name's Neil, keeping technical analysis short and sweet, and I'm actually going to start off with DNT because it's something very important to be looking at when you start seeing this pattern forming. I actually want to compare it exactly to XYO, which is on another video I made for this day. But you see this consolidation, the drop, the second drop, and then the higher low before it shoots up roughly 89%. Looking at DNT, we have that drop, further drop, building the higher lows, and building a higher low. Once we get over that 200 EMA, we could expect a similar push like we saw in XYO. So if you haven't stacked your bag for DNT, now is a better time than ever, but none of that is financial advice. Jumping to BNT, very, very healthy. We could see that this would be a potential double top, right? You guys see that? Double top. But with that double top, we had the push down. If it does not make it down over 50% more or less, if we can see it push down and then hold and close up here, we are looking very healthy for BNT. Otherwise, a potential consolidation, as when Bitcoin had its massive drop, BNT only pushed down towards the downward trend line and held it as support multiple times. So keeping that in mind, BNT and DNT both look very, very, very good. GRT holding support on the upward trend line, held support at the 618 retracement. We pretty much need to push this up above this previous high and see it close above that 200 EMA, which is quite a ways from the current price point. It's about 17%, but I'm willing to write it out, that 17 to 20% before looking for a bigger entry on GRT. Moving to QNT. QNT had that fake out with the bear trap, had a bunch of people selling off, and then we held support at that 200 EMA. This time we didn't go through it. We held on top of it, making it look a little bit more bullish. Even if Bitcoin has a drop, we may not even see a lower low than this previous drop, which is what we would like to see for the altcoin season to start picking up. Ideally, we want to hold above this black trend line and push up above this previous high, which would essentially be breaking this downward trend line at that same point. But we want to keep that 200 EMA close, so we may see a little bit more consolidation with QNT before it takes off or it gets rejected. So just holding personally as well on QNT, waiting for that consolidation to move upwards. And the main thing is this 200 EMA that we got to keep an eye on. Also the volume picked up quite a bit for that push up. So one strong candle can see a really strong push on QNT. So with that being said, moving over to Compound and then XCN finally. Compound filling out very, very nicely, having higher lows. If we draw a trend line from there, we can say that we are building higher lows more or less, and we need to be holding this as support to start seeing a higher increase in price. Removing this, essentially we just need to get over that 200 EMA, but as you see, we push right up towards, that's inverted. Sorry, let's do this Fibonacci retracement from the bottom to the top. Incorrect yet again from the top to the bottom. We see that we are at the 0.5. 618 is up here at $51, so that's kind of where this would be heading if it does not have just a consolidation and a little retracement from that 200 EMA. But when we can close and hold above that, we can expect a possible test of this $54 roughly area downward trend line. If that breaks, then it would be pushing up to 61. But if you have not entered Compound, you've had quite a bit of time and many opportunities to enter into it. Highly recommend getting some Compound, as its all-time high is nearly $1,000 for a $49 investment. but it is not financial advice. It's just recommendations of personal opinions. XCN consolidation looking very nice. It does have a little bit of pressure with the CM guppy and the 200 EMA. So we're kind of getting wedged in between this area with the liquidity, and we need to get above that 200 EMA. But similar formation to like what we saw on XYO, wherever it starts to get coiled up and get pushed into a corner, just like we are right now, as I talked about on my other video. The 200 EMA and this downward trend line XYO will take off, which is kind of what we're expecting with XCN, getting above that 200 EMA and this downward trend line. A little bit further ways to go, but it can happen very quickly. I would like to see a longer consolidation, keeping that 200 EMA nice and tight, and then pushing up, and then having the push over that downward trend line at the same time for XCN. But XCN has a very good ROI compared to other cryptos at the moment. So I think it is a very good bet for future gains, and I believe that we are not going to be crashing anywhere below the 0.008, even though it has happened in the past on other charts. There was a flash crash, so definitely don't have a sell stop, because even if we move down to 0.008, we are most likely retracing very quickly back towards this downward trend line. And once that gets broken, potentially retests, and it starts to take off, we'll most likely see 0.4 yet again, and way beyond that in the upcoming months, if not within halfway through 2026. That's it for this video. Like and subscribe if you want. All references in the description below. Mexi getting free 10 USDT using that link, but good luck, have fun with it. I will see you on the next one.